What's up, Misfits? This is Long Island Josh here with this guy, Red.
Hey,
And we're here in a much better mood than yesterday to review Post Wrestlemania RAW. I
I,
really like this show.
I really did. I get why you're saying that yesterday was we weren't in the best of not it wasn't moods. I think it was just us being tired 6 hours later.
It's been a big weekend. Mania is always a big weekend, but it's fun. We had NXT. You and I both really enjoyed that. Mania is just too long of a show, but I guess I feel like the parts I watched I enjoyed, but the things I knew I wouldn't want to see, I did not see.
Yeah, I think you kind of expressed that in the review that we had of it. If you guys want to see that review, that's also on the channel. That was less than 24 hours ago. But once this comes out, it might be a little bit more than 24 hours ago. So, yeah.
All right, so tonight it's post WrestleMania Raw. This is usually like one of the biggest of the year. It happened in Orlando, Florida, same place as WrestleMania. Tonight was in the Amway Center, and the crowd was crazy. I am so jealous. I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of it.
These
Here's
guys.
a little spoiler for getting into the show. They chanted "fucking Roman." All I've ever wanted was that chant to be said out there.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get into that. Let's get into Roman Reigns. Like the show opened up with "Thank You, Taker," because everybody knows what that whole thing with Undertaker leaving his gear in the middle of the ring and looks like he's retired from WWE. But
I just want to point out you said "looks like" because I still feel like he's gonna come back, but everywhere it's been reported he's retired, so I might be wrong.
Yeah, and it was a proper open. Everybody was yelling, "Thank you, Taker! Thank you, Taker!" And
they did it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, they just let it. They were panning to the crowd in different sections, and they let it kept going. And then all of a sudden, no, it went "Thank you, Taker," and then I think they started adding "Roman sucks" to it. So it was like "Thank you, Taker," Roman sucks.
"Thank you, Taker." Then I thought I started to hear "start the show," and then "start the show" turned into "Roman sucks."
Yeah, and then they just kept going on with it, and then just out of nowhere, Roman Reigns' music comes on, and that's when the biggest boos comes on. I mean, this isn't just some typical booing Roman Reigns, and they have to turn down the whole, the crowd's mic, but I think they just let it roll, don't do nothing. Let's just this is post Mania crowd. Let's just get the whole reaction.
It's enjoy this very visceral reaction you're going to get from the hardest of the hardcore fans. Starting in a week or two, they'll start hitting more of the lesser markets, and they'll be able to get their casual fan base that'll do whatever they say and want. But tonight's for the hardcores. You guys flew all the way to Orlando from all those countries and all over the United States. So, at least they give us the little bit of respect that if you're going to spend the money, you get your one night to chant what you want.
Oh,
and
these guys,
they plug this with commercials. I feel like this is probably going to do very well in the ratings because this show was full of commercials.
Oh, it was full of commercials. It was a lot of commercials, but I feel like they did a lot with this post Raw. I remember how last year's was, and last year's was kind of flat in a little bit, even though they had a post Mania Raw last year. But I feel like they did a lot more for this one this year, and it was fun. Even just at the beginning when they had a lot of chants during Roman Reigns just standing in the middle of the ring, like you pointed out, there was a "fuck you, Roman" going on in the chat, or not in the chat, in the crowd.
I'm so happy that these people were so organized that they got that over. Okay, right in the beginning, and anytime Roman even tried to talk, they booed him. They wouldn't let him talk. So I'm sure, he doesn't really give a crap. He knows he's going to be rich and WWE's going to keep pushing him. So he probably enjoyed, the fact that must have been really surreal to him to have a crowd of people as if he was actually over, but he's not. But to interact with him with such passion.
Oh, there was.
They just turned him.
Yeah, it's just basically there was delete chants, "fuck you, Roman" chants, "you suck, asshole," "Roman sucks," delete, "shut the fuck
this is
up."
A PG show, right?
This is a PG show, and there was even a "go away" chant also, which was funny.
That one I hope continues. I would like that to be one towards Roman. It's PG friendly, and it can be very distracting. And there's no way that the announcers could be like, they mean get in, don't go out, get in. They can't turn that around.
But he just. This is the thing is that he's not going to be like a John Cena. John Cena is just all like, he'll embrace it. He'll be like, keep going with it. Let the crowd keep going with it, and he'll even orchestrate while they're doing it in the crowd. But Roman looks like it kind of gets to him, and I think before he expressed that it does get to him, but the crowd says what they want. They always say it, but Roman just stood there, waited till it was his time, and all he said was, "This is my yard now."
So it's his yard. I don't like it. There's nothing that I can do about it except decide whether or not I want to keep watching. So I was worried at this point because I thought Raw was going to be like, oh, here's Vince just plugging Roman down all our throats.
Speaking of Vince McMahon, should we talk about Vincent K. McMahon making an appearance on a Post-Mania Raw?
Yeah, Vince was part of tonight's show, and kind of hate that the crowd moments earlier or segments earlier they were booing Roman, Vince's new big pet project and new toy, and he just loves Roman, and we hate him so much. But when Vince comes out, everyone still cheers him. They still sing his song. I was really hoping that this crowd would just boo him, or like the whole time he tried to talk, just fire Roman. We've had enough. No.
Well, he was in the ring, and before, like when his music stopped and he was standing there in the middle of the ring, there was a chant of Roman sucks to Vince McMahon, and he was just all like, I don't know what goes.
Because it didn't mean anything.
I don't know what goes in Vince McMahon's mind. He's like, oh, these guys want Roman Reigns. Okay, I'll give him more every week on Raw, every Monday.
Exactly. Like I told you, when they're booing, he just thinks they're oohing for him. Like when he does his little taunt.
But he came, and I think we talked about this on yesterday's review of WrestleMania. We were talking about there's going to be a shakeup going to happen, and he came right out on this Raw, and he says there's going to be a superstar shakeup.
Which is new WWE speak for the draft. Yeah,
there's going to be a draft. It's going to be a draft, and I am interested in seeing where everybody's going after this one. I mean,
do you want a full like reshuffling? Because I'm down for like 2 or 3 people, changing.
I mean, I'm down for here and there, like switch some people around, but I feel like we're gonna see maybe AJ Styles on Raw. Maybe we'll see a Samoa Joe on SmackDown. Maybe we'll see, I don't know. Maybe Roman Reigns won't. Maybe Roman Reigns will get switched over to SmackDown. You never know what's gonna happen on this. Maybe the champions will switch. Maybe WWE champion will move over to. I don't think that makes sense because then the Universal Championship is red.
Well, we can't have that because people will be confused, as Vince has been famously known to have said. That's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact, and that's the thing about it is with the whole Shinsuke Nakamura thing. I stand by Vince McMahon saying something like that, as crazy as that, about red pants can't be on SmackDown.
I can believe it. Some wrestling fans, that's all it takes. But besides announcing the draft that's coming up next week, Vince McMahon also appointed a new general manager.
I am happy about this.
So am I. So I think we all knew this was going to happen, but Vince McMahon appointed Kurt Angle, the newest, one of the newest members of the 2017 Hall of Fame, as the new Raw general manager, and he came out. He got the big "you suck" chants, which in wrestling logic means that we love you, except if it's towards Roman. If we say you suck, then we mean you suck. But if we say it towards Angle, it's because you're great. There's a curve. There's a curve to understand how it works.
It's a classic Angle crowd from back in the day. If you watch back in the day, if you're at least about 15 years into this, 15 years back, you understand the whole Kurt Angle thing. And
He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And I'm glad he's back. I wish he could wrestle, but I don't want him to wrestle if it means like literally a moment, a minute of his life being shortened because he should most likely never wrestle again.
But it's good to see him back in WWE, and he has some skits going on in the back with Enzo Amore and a Big Cass, and just him doing some duties in the back. He looks like he's gonna, it's kind of one of those things to where he has to kind of ease back into it, and then he'll get used to it. Um, but it's good to have Kurt Angle. He's got that humor still in there, and I am interested in seeing what will happen when Stephanie McMahon comes back. But as far as they're going with that whole thing, she's went through a table, and that was actually pretty good. I like that.
Well, the crowd loved it. They yesed the hell out of it. Again, this crowd was super fun. All the segments were really boosted by the fact that you had such a passionate crowd that would chant whatever would come to their mind or just make sense. So, again, I'm jealous I wasn't a part of the crowd.
All right, quickly with the with another point, the revival.
So they got called up.
Yes, and they look really good against the New Day, and they had that classic at Takeover, and they come into Raw with this. They look like an old school tag team, old school technical wrestling tag team.
Well, one of the weird things about the Post Mania Raw is that you have the hardcores there. So even though New Day are supposed to be good guys and people cheered them, the Revival are straight up bad guys. They are throwback heels, and they're just great at what they do. So they get tremendous respect for it from this crowd, especially. So they were really over. And throughout this match, even though the Revival was very heelish and very good as like tag team brawlers, the crowd was with them. And what I was just going to point out is that towards the end of the match, after Revival won, they continued to beat down Kofi because they have to establish for the new fans that these people are going crazy for the Revival, but they're bad guys. So I like that they had to try, because this is such a crazy Raw where if you don't understand who these people are getting called up or why these fans are so passionate, the announcers do have to kind of explain that this is a special episode. Normal continuity may not make sense tonight.
Yeah, this is different crowd. This is not your typical just from the local city crowd. This is the crowd that's from around the world, and they get raucous. They get crazy.
And
let's talk about the new Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, who got thank you Brock for defeating Goldberg.
I feel like I wasn't super anti Goldberg. He had his run. I don't care if he comes back. He had a good run, but to me, the championship is back on someone who I want it to be. Brock Lesnar is a legitimate UFC heavyweight champion. Legitimately destroy half the roster, most likely, unless Kurt Angle, because Kurt fought him on a plane once. But that was years ago.
That's way back. You're going way back on that one.
Wrestling rewards the fans who pay attention. I wish Vince would embrace it more, but NXT does, and certain aspects of SmackDown, but that's why other shows are fun. Okay, but the fact is Brock Lesnar champion. I like this. Paul Heyman came out and he told the bedtime story that he tells his kids and that Brock tells his kids. And it's this crazy story where basically Goldberg thinks he's a superhero, but superheroes aren't good people. The good people in this world are the monsters, the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. So maybe I'm wondering what Brock's kids are going to be like in 20, 30 years if they become wrestlers. Imagine second generation beast incarnates.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that they will be. I mean, that's some crazy bedtime stories you're telling your kids there, right there. But
they are going to be messed up.
But then they were talking about challengers. They were talking about Heyman names Seth Rollins, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. He says these guys aren't potential opponents for the now Brock Lesnar, as dominant as he is. And then he talks about the only two people to ever defeat Undertaker at WrestleMania, him and Roman Reigns. And this this got the people going because everybody was wanting Finn Balor, but then they just kept. I think Paul Heyman just kept going with it. He's like, we gotta keep going with this.
You and I were texting during this, and anytime he mentioned someone, Seth, yeah, I'd watch that. Finn, yes, give me that. Broken Matt Hardy, hell yeah. Brother Miro, I'll see that. But don't give me Roman Reigns.
Yeah, don't give me Roman Reigns. And this is when Braun Strowman came out, and he says that he's gonna, as soon as he's done with Roman Reigns, maybe Lesnar will notice him, and this led to Brock Lesnar putting the title, like trying to kind of like drawing the line in the sand for him, and then Braun Strowman just kind of leaving. Then he got what did he get? You're a pussy chance.
Yeah, he got pussy chance, and that's a post Mania Raw chant. You know,
this is not a
years. It was never this vicious.
This year. This is not a PG. Yeah, this is not a PG crowd here.
I think the other years it was just more organically fun. This is organically we are hostile, and we're gonna like what we like. We're gonna hate on what we don't like. Which I'm intrigued for tomorrow for SmackDown, because I think SmackDown's just a better show. So maybe it'll be
AJ Styles entrance. AJ Styles entrance. I'm waiting for that.
I can't wait. It'll be the biggest pop of the night, most likely, unless we get Nakamura. Oh my god! If we get
Nakamura on SmackDown, I'm all for that.
Yeah, we both just marked out.
Okay, so then the main event is supposed to be Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho, and then it was supposed to go against Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens, but Chris Jericho got attacked while he was doing his.
Chris Jericho was having an interview with some chick that they don't give you a name, so I don't know who she is, because announcers mean nothing in WWE. But he was cutting a promo and explaining that one little detail that, I saw on Reddit, but I didn't connect when I watched the match, was that the only thing that saved Kevin Owens was the tip of his finger. The same tip of his finger that was like the painting that Chris Jericho had commissioned for the Festival of Friendship. So it's kind of funny here that Chris Jericho, he gets so frustrated that he takes the list out and he puts the tip of Kevin Owens' finger on the list. And while he's doing that and the crowd's chanting, then Kevin Owens attacks him. Then Samoa Joe attacks him and they put him through a table, so he's injured. And this is the time I decide I'm going to take my dog for a walk, so I kind of missed the little part, but I came back to the main event.
He got
I came here for the surprise tag team partner.
Yeah. But then it comes to the main event. The surprise entrant for, not entrant, but partner for Seth Rollins, Mr. Green, or not Green Ranger, the Gold Ranger himself, is Finn Balor. Finn Balor comes back. And I think the crowd was more, was going to expect the Demon more, but he came out with his signature leather jacket, which I'm okay with. I mean,
well, the Demon is something he only busts out for the big moments. So going forward, because they didn't get to properly build this character the first time around before Finn Balor's partner Seth Rollins injured him. Kind of annoyed by the internal logic of that, but
yeah.
What they got to do is make sure that when Finn Balor wrestles, most of the time he's seen and wrestles, it's got to be as jacket guy. He only brings out the Demon for pay-per-views or like to seriously up a feud. What was that? Maybe JBL said this, or someone on Reddit had mentioned that the logic should be that when he's the Demon, he's all in and he's stronger, but he's not as intelligent, and it takes so much out of him because he's so like enraged to be the Demon that like that's why he can lose. That's why he doesn't bring it out all the time, because it's more pure energy or whatever wrestling, not as much as like a technical, very strike-driven, focused type of wrestling. So maybe if that's how they push this character, I'd be happy with that as his logic.
Yeah, and I always wanted one of those Balor Club t-shirts, so I'm thinking about getting one of those.
If it's on sale, you should do it.
But
tomorrow you guys won't be able to take advantage of it.
But overall, the main event was good. It was a good physical match. There was kind of that, how you said Seth Rollins and he injured Finn Balor, and they kind of had that look at the end of the match, and they shook hands, like they were kind of like, should I shake your hand or should I not shake your hand? Because you basically injured me.
Well, I get you have to fix the logic, but still, if you and I were in a feud and you beat me up and I got injured, and 9 months later I came back, I wouldn't try to help you.
No,
So
no,
don't
that's
turn your
yeah,
back on me, Red.
yeah. No, no, no. We like classic tag team.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna ask you your own question. Was this worth your time of watching Post
hundred
Mania Raw?
percent. 100%. It was only 3 hours. It wasn't 6 or 7. Mania is ridiculous, and also this is brand new. Like, Mania happened, so now boom, we start fresh. People get called up tomorrow on SmackDown. Probably we'll see a lot of new talent be brought up from NXT. New feuds. Everything's changing right now. Right now, wrestling is very interesting for at least the next month or two. They're going to shuffle the rosters. Things are going to be very important right now towards building to next year's Mania, because that's how this thing works.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I don't do that often. I don't know when's the
No,
last time
because
I
I
actually
usually
agree with you 100%.
I don't usually enjoy Raw as much as I did today.
Yeah, so I don't know. Overall, this was a good Post Mania Raw. WrestleMania, I agree, was kind of dragged on a little bit. There was some pop worthy moments here and there, but I think this one made up for it. We had the Hall of Fame, we had Takeover, we had WrestleMania, we had Post Mania Raw. Now we have Post Mania SmackDown to go with. So we'll see what happens with that when we do that tomorrow.
Exactly. So, Misfits, we hope you liked tonight's episode of Raw. I hope you liked tonight's podcast. If you did, please hit that like button. Hit subscribe for more wrestling and game podcasts. We're going to be hitting a new, going to hit right out of the bat and start putting a lot of content on. So you're going to miss it if you're not subscribed. And interact with us. You guys send us emails, but we like to interact with you guys on YouTube. So please leave a comment.